Hello, dear students. This is Mr. Chung, and in this video, we're going to go over a very cool problem. So this is 3.2.6, applying similarity. Today, we're going to work in pairs. The problem says you are getting sleepy. Legend has it that if you can make eye contact with another person by looking in a mirror, you can hypnotize them to squawk like a chicken. Today, you will solve the following problem. If two people stand on opposite sides of a mirror, and one of them stands 200 centimeters away, how far away does the second person have to be to make eye contact through the mirror? So step one, get out your worksheets, and you're going to draw a diagram of the situation. What is the situation? We are going to have a mirror on the floor. This is a mirror. And one person is going to stand on one side. So let's say the person is over here. Let me make him a little taller. So his feet are on the ground. And the second person is, let's say the second person's taller, and they're going to stand on the other side. So in our picture, on the right side. Now remember, both these people are trying to make eye contact by looking into the mirror. The first person, let's say that their name is Bob. So you're going to label the first person with your name. Second person, the taller person, let's call her Jill. And now I want you to make two triangles by having them look into the mirror. So what I mean is from Bob's eyes down to the mirror and then over to his feet, you're making one triangle. From Jill's eyes down to the mirror and to her feet, you're making the second triangle. And notice, so Bob is perpendicular to the floor, so that's going to be a right angle. Jill is perpendicular to the floor, so that's also a right angle. Okay. Now, either Bob or Jill is going to be standing 200 centimeters away, so you're going to want to label that. So let's say you choose Bob as a person that's 200 centimeters away. And in this problem, you're trying to find this distance. So let's call that X. How far away does Jill have to stand in order to make eye contact with Bob by looking in the mirror? So let's pause this video and you go ahead and draw this diagram out and label it with your names, the distance, all the works. All right. Okay. So now that you have your diagram set up, let's take a look at step two. In step two, we are going to measure our heights. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to come up to the measuring tape on the wall, and we're going to measure your heights up to your eyes. And let's say, so once you get your heights, you should record them in this table. So let's say Bob is the first person, and Bob is 157 centimeters. Let's say Jill is person 2, and she is 168 centimeters. Go ahead and pause this video and get those heights. Okay, now that you have your heights, we can move to step 3, which is to label your diagram with the heights. So label height of person 1, label height of person 2. Once I finish those, I can make check marks. So Bob is 157. I'm going to go up and I'm going to write 157 centimeters under Bob. And Jill was 168 centimeters. So what am I going to do? I'm going to write 168 centimeters. So we're labeling the diagram. Okay. Once you have that, you can check and check. Pause the video and make sure you labeled your diagrams. Step 4. Set up a proportion and solve for the missing distance. Now remember, reflections create similar triangles, which is why this works. What do I mean? Let's go back up. So the way that the light bounces off the mirror is going to automatically create some similar triangles. So that means that this angle on the left is going to be equal to the angle on the right. And that's how you're going to be able to figure out the missing distance. You're going to be able to set up a proportion. So the proportion should follow this pattern. The height of person 1 in centimeters divided by the distance that person 1 is away from the mirror is equal to person 2's height divided by person 2's distance from the mirror. You're going to use the butterfly method to solve it. So let's use, say, this is our example, Bob and Jill. So we're going to have Bob's height in centimeters divided by Bob's distance in centimeters. And that's going to equal to Jill's height in centimeters divided by Jill's distance in centimeters. Okay, so based on the info we had before, Bob was 157 centimeters. And then how far was he? Well, he was 200. We decided he was the one standing 200 centimeters away. And that's going to equal to Jill's height, which is 168 centimeters divided by X, because we don't know how far away she's supposed to stand. What should we do next to solve this problem? If you said butterfly method, you're right. And what's the first thing we do? If you said we should cross multiply 157 times X, that's good. And then that's going to equal 200 times 168. We're going to get 157x, and once you multiply it out, you're going to get 33600. Now, last step, we're going to try to get that x by itself. What should we do? If you said divide by 157, you're right. Both sides. These cancel out, and x is going to be, I'll use squigglies because it's about, it's a decimal, but I'm just going to say it's about 214 centimeters. All right, so go ahead and calculate how far away your partner is supposed to be from the mirror. Pause the video and do that. All right, once you have step 4 done, you can do step 5. Step 5, you finish labeling the diagram with your missing distance. So we found that it was 214 for Jill. So let's move up. And I'm going to say she should be about 214 centimeters away. Okay, so now that I've labeled it appropriately, I can do a check mark. Pause the video and make sure you do that. Okay, last step, step 6, check it in real life. This is the step that's pretty exciting. You can go up now and we're gonna stand at your calculated distances and see if you can make eye contact. In this last box, I want you to write down a sentence about if you were able to make eye contact with your partner, why or why not. And if you weren't able to, were you able to redo the calculation and fix your mistake? And so just explain explain how that went. So you might say, yes, we were able to blah, 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 and then just write a sentence, or you say, no, we made a mistake, blah, 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 and then we fixed it by. So let's say this should be just 1 to 2 sentences. At least 1 sentence, okay? All right, so I hope you found that useful. I hope you found that fun. Very good. Over and out.